This is your Arukh HaShulchan Yardeh, similar with Zayin, Sif Zayin to Yud. This is Supplemental Day 236 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi series. Zayin. This second halacha is certainly difficult. This halacha, which he called Shalpuchis in Sif Hay, the type of bubble which can be removed. The Adram, the contrary, says it can be peeled off with hands. But red and the lung remains intact. Those too much needs to should be a sign that the lung was healed. No sure our klipa caution is only like a hard scab here. This is the scab of shchin. The chsivin the goyim. Because now in Perek Vav, Mesechus the goyim Perek Mishleches HaShchin HaMichva VaKadach VeNasu Tareves. The shchin, the boils and burn, and I guess an infection, which became a scab. Rapu, they become healed. The karmalam or and skin formed over them. We say that this bubble is like a boil on the flesh. And these rapu became healed. The karmalam or and flesh formed over it. And therefore it can be peeled and memories are attacked. Why should we assume a flaw to say there was a bubble between the flesh and between the skin and the flesh? And this which is peeled off was the membrane of the lung and not the scab. If he's machmir on this, is causing a loss for Am Yisrael. Bracket says here, whatever the Levushei says here is astonishing. Who is the prophet who told him that there was an absolute bubble, whatever that means, between the skin and the flesh. He also brings down this idea of Ein Zel Min HaMatmi, and this is astonishing. Davar Tem was astonishing. Ala Gdolim Lismoch Amashimotza Kasuv, that they relied on something they found written. V'lokein Asor Ramah Moshe As Olive, that the Ramah did not follow this path. Where Shkasa writes Shemotza Kasuv Buach Maria Kamar Kritin Stein, the whatever that is. You have a bubble which looks like Kritinstein, or Kain Ein, or like a Ein. Whatever that is, Treifa is Treifa Dochazeh. He rejects it. Just because it's fine written doesn't mean it's true. Similar to that, but such because who I found written bush, Gemara, vine chill, whatever that is, has a certain look to it. Treifa, learn here early. So we have to Treifa. So stuff which Achronim found written down, which doesn't have a source in the Gemara, I guess, or Rishonim, or HaShulchan rejects. Ches, Kasura Rabbi saying about the Shulchan Aruch, the Shulchan Aruch writes in C base, if a adhesion is dangling out from the bubble, treif, let's treif. Also, if the bubble standing in place where there's another flaw, api the kosher blavachi, even though otherwise it would be kosher. Going b'gav shushi, such as there's a mound there, or b'makam mashmiya cause, or is a sound which emanates from the lung there, or shebul bat so much maskol, or the bubble itself produces sound. It's treifa kanshar. Bir levoim, it's say mevor mekor adin la'rayved. In the source of this halach in the Rayved, it says it's Tmim Day. Even though a dangling adhesion, we probably say is okay. Let's start that line again because I get interrupted. Even though dangling adhesion, we are machshir based on going because it's not adhering to anything. When it comes out of bubble, abua made a benekev. The bubble indicates that there's a hole there. Test the time of the reason is the neighbor is called bua matela suffix bakrum shalrea. Every bubble casts out on the membranes of the lung. Mashra bua, what's opposite the bubble? Bua hilecha misasefes. The bubble is a moisture which gathers bena or labasa between the skin and the flesh. And he said the sham, and it's Again, I always thought that, to me this should be in Sefes, but I don't know. It's lost there. But now this mugla becomes, I guess it deteriorates there. Comes mugla, it comes a pus. Because of it's very likely that the skin was punctured that way, and that's the language of the Rashba, Daf Mem Zayin Beis. And therefore there were chachamim who were dubious about the entire issue of the bubbles, which is and I guess it's discussed at Daf Mem Ches. And we mentioned right that the Rif and the Rambam aser bubbles which are full of murky or rancid water, like we said, everything has to do with the ruining of the ruinations of the membranes. Most of the time we see that the membranes of the lung, which are on the bubbles, that the membranes of the lungs on the bubbles, they look different. Because once the shecht is soon to be mutter. For all animals, most animals are kosher. For me, we say the kumir lo iskaklu. We say no, must be we can assume that the membranes are not damaged. But if there's also a sircha, an adhesion, and there's no adhesion without a hole, only if it's dangling, we say it's kosher. It's not adhering to somewhere else. But there's no clear evidence that this adhesion is not on top of a hole. It's just because there's a cheskas heter, assumption of permissibility. For robe animals, kerosene, and most animals are kosher. And we say should wear ba'amos, just some sort of mucus. But if you see the bua and you see that the membranes are impacted, it's more like to say that this sircha is on account of a hole. And there was a scab which came over it and stopped it. They allow a dangling adhesion when it's kind of an oxymoron, a dangling adhesion, but okay. That's what it is. When the water inside the bubble is clear. That's the Bach and the Shach, and the name of the rats. Because if it's clear water, the memories now have been ruined. For there's evidence of the Chachamim who are dubious about the permissibility of the bubbles, they also say that, well, if it's clear water, it's okay. Come forward, but Gemara. The Gemara there says that kidneys, where this all this also comes as an issue, as we mentioned earlier in the simon. There is difference between clear water and pus. So we see clear water is not a flaw at all. Those are machmer even by clear water. It's the Rashal and the Taz. According to the determination of several G'dolim, the place where we see if they have two bubbles adjacent to each other, if they have clear water inside, as we shall see in Sif Chavvav, should also be with an adhesion emerging from the bubble. Some place where we add aser two bubbles next to each other. Here too it's aser. Here too it's aser. But Swana says, this is logical. So the two bubbles next to each other, the Gemara. It's a discussion in the Gemara itself. For lenient with clear water there. Must not be a flaw at all. Especially this halacha, which is not for the Gemara, the Ravid is the source. He says in the brackets here that Levush Esrod, who he castigated before, in this he passes his way here leniently. Okay, I'm stop here for today.